The phone slipped from my hand, clattering against the hardwood floor with a sound like breaking glass. My wife's voice echoed in my skull, not from the device now lying face down but from the memory of her words last night. "Let's pause our marriage, Jack. Just for the trip." Pause. As if our 12 years together could be toggled like a streaming service. I stood frozen in our kitchen, the scent of burnt toast lingering, the clock ticking too loudly, each second a hammer against my temples. Then I saw it. The notification still glowing on my phone's cracked screen. A text from her, sent to someone named Alex. "Can't wait to see you in Paris. Hotels booked. Don't tell Jack." My stomach lurched, a cold fist twisting inside me. I wanted to scream, to hurl the phone through the window, but instead, I picked it up, my fingers trembling as I read the words again, praying I'd misunderstood. The kitchen was suffocating, its cheery yellow walls mocking the storm brewing in my chest. I sank into a chair, the wood creaking under my weight, and stared at the text. Alex. Who was Alex? A coworker? A friend? My mind raced through her colleagues at the law firm, landing on nobody. She'd never mentioned an Alex. I tried to recall her behavior over the past months. Late nights at the office, her phone always face down, the way she'd laughed off my questions about her upcoming Paris conference. "Just work, Jack. You know how it is." I'd believed her because I always had. Because love is a blindfold you tie on yourself. I scrolled through her messages, my thumb hovering over each one, guilt prickling at my conscience. This wasn't me snooping, doubting. But the text burned in my mind, a splinter I couldn't ignore. There were others. "Miss you already. Sent 2 weeks ago. He's clueless, don't worry. Last month." Each message was a knife, carving away the trust I'd built our life on. I wanted to confront her, to demand answers, but she was already halfway across the Atlantic, her flight to Paris having left at dawn. The silence in the house was deafening, broken only by the hum of the fridge and my ragged breathing. I stood, pacing the kitchen, my bare feet cold against the tiles. The room felt alien, like a stage set for someone else's life. Her coffee mug sat on the counter, lipstick smudged on the rim, a faint rose-pink stain. I touched it, then yanked my hand back as if burned. How long had she been lying? The question gnawed at me, each possibility worse than the last. Maybe it was nothing, a misunderstanding, a joke. Maybe Alex was a woman, a friend she hadn't mentioned. But the secrecy, the hotel, the "don't tell Jack." It wasn't nothing. It was a betrayal, sharp and deliberate, slicing through the life we'd built. I grabbed my laptop, desperation clawing at me. Her email was still logged in. Another violation, but I was past caring. I searched Alex and found an email chain buried in a folder labeled Work Miscellaneous. The subject lines were innocuous: conference details, Paris itinerary. But the content was anything but. "I'll slip away after the keynote. Meet me at Le Marais, 8 p.m. Another. "Jack thinks it's just work. Let's keep it that way." My heart pounded, a drumbeat of rage and heartbreak. Le Marais. I pictured her there, laughing in some candlelit cafe, her hand brushing someone else's, while I sat here, a fool in our empty home. The betrayal wasn't just the act. It was the planning, the secrecy, the ease with which she'd lied. I remembered her packing last week, humming as she folded silk blouses, her eyes bright with something I'd mistaken for excitement about the trip. Now I saw it for what it was: anticipation of him. I slammed the laptop shut, the sound echoing like a gunshot. My hands shook, torn between wanting to call her and wanting to erase her from my life. But I needed proof, something undeniable, before I let this destroy me. I spent the day digging, each discovery a fresh wound. Her credit card statements showed charges for a hotel she hadn't mentioned, a boutique place far from the conference venue, a receipt for 2 plane tickets, not one. My mind conjured images I couldn't unsee. Her with this Alex, tangled in sheets, whispering secrets that should have been mine. I wanted to hate her, but love clung to me like damp clothes, heavy and inescapable. I kept seeing her face, the way she'd smiled at me last night, her hand on my cheek as she said, "This pause will be good for us, Jack. Space to breathe." Space. What a lie. By evening, I was unraveling. I poured a whiskey, the amber liquid catching the light like her eyes used to. The house felt haunted, every corner holding memories of her. Us, laughing, fighting, loving. I called her, my thumb hesitating over the screen before pressing dial. It went straight to voicemail, her cheerful tone a mockery. "Hey, it's Laura. Leave a message." I hung up, my throat tight. Then I texted her. "Who's Alex?" No response. I waited, staring at the screen, the silence louder than any scream. Hours later, my phone buzzed. A photo from her, no caption. It was her in Paris, standing on a bridge, the Seine glittering behind her. She was alone, smiling, but something was off. Her eyes were guarded, her smile tight. I zoomed in, my heart racing, and saw it. A man's reflection in the water, holding the phone, taking the picture. My blood ran cold. It was him. Alex. The proof I dreaded but needed. I didn't sleep that night. I sat on the couch, whiskey bottle half empty, replaying every moment of our marriage. The fights over money, the quiet mornings, the way she'd curl into me during thunderstorms. Had it all been a lie? Or had I failed her somehow, pushed her into someone else's arms? Guilt and anger wrestled in my chest, each one winning for a moment before the other took over. I wanted to save us, to confront her and demand she choose me. But I also wanted to walk away, to reclaim my life before she could break me further. The next morning, I booked a flight to Paris. I didn't know what I'd do when I got there. Confront her, beg her, or just watch from a distance, gathering the pieces of my shattered trust. The decision felt reckless, but sitting still was worse. As the plane took off, I stared out the window, the clouds blurring like my thoughts. I imagined her face when she saw me, the shock, the guilt. Or maybe she'd laugh, call me paranoid, and explain it all away. Part of me wanted that. Wanted to be wrong. When I landed, Paris was alive with lights, the air sharp with the scent of rain and bread. I went straight to Le Marais, my heart pounding as I scanned every cafe, every corner. Then I saw her sitting at a small table outside, her laughter carrying over the cobblestones. She wasn't alone. The man across from her was lean, dark-haired, his hand resting on hers. My world tilted, the ground unsteady beneath me. I stepped forward, ready to confront them, but then she turned, her eyes meeting mine across the street. Her face froze, a mix of horror and something else, relief, maybe. She stood, knocking over her wineglass, the red liquid pooling like blood. "Jack," she whispered, her voice carrying despite the distance. The man, Alex, looked confused then alarmed. I didn't move, didn't speak. In that moment I saw it all. Her guilt, her fear, her love for me still there, tangled with her betrayal. I turned and walked away, the city swallowing me whole. I didn't need her explanations. I'd press play on a life without her. And the freedom hurt more than the truth.